Hello and welcome back to the sound of Safe and Sound, Texas. This is David Bianco. It's been a bit of a Where's Waldo routine lately. Where have I been? Well, I've been traversing across some parts of Europe, finally getting out into travel again, getting past the COVID nightmare that we all had for the last 2+ years. And so I've been here and had some real surprises when it comes to vinyl, and I'm going to be sharing that next with you on the sound of Safe and Sound, Texas. So thanks for joining me back here on the sound of Safe and Sound, Texas. David Bianco with you here, and I'm in Europe right now. So I had some personal travels and business travels that have brought me here since May 31st, and here we are in just past mid-June. I'll be here another week, and it's been kind of interesting. And a lot of the places that I go to, I already have been to before and know the record stores that are around there. But of course, these were all before COVID hit. The good news is all the stores I remember are still in business and open. So that's a good thing. But I can tell you my first stop was in Vienna, Austria, and went to a couple of places there that I'd been to in the past. And one of the first things I noticed, and again, we're going to be talking mainly here about used vinyl, is most of the prices were up 25 to 50% from what they were when I was here in 2019 and early 2020. So that's one thing I noticed kind of right off the bat. And it was not totally shocking, but I always had come here and really found that I'd gotten some good deals. So it was a little disappointing, I guess, if nothing else. So ironically, the two shops that I went to in Vienna, Austria, I actually came out of there with nothing in hand, which was partly based on selection, and it was partly based on the price of the few things I did see that I had some interest in. Another factor, I think, is I'm getting a little more, I'll say, picky, or a little more conscious of how much I have and what I want to do and what I want to buy. And so getting a little more thoughtful about that. I can tell you that lugging records around in Europe can be a bit of a challenge. I've actually had a couple of places where I actually left my records and had to go back and get them. So it can be quite the daunting task in that regard, even quite simply. So Vienna was a bit of a bust, at least in terms of that. Otherwise, it was really a good visit. I have a daughter that lives there and family. So it was really a great time from that perspective, but really was a bit disappointed at the selection and in starting to find that possibly things were going to cost a bit more. So my next stop was in Sweden, which is home base for the company that I do some work for, and went down to a more southern city after I flew into Stockholm called Kalmar, Kalmar. Beautiful, beautiful city by the sea. And lo and behold, around the corner from the hotel I was staying at there was a record store called Sabbath Records. So I went into the store, and a lot of heavy metal and punk and that type of thing, which is generally not my fare. I'm more pop rock, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, a little bit, but mainly 60s, 70s, 80s. And so there was a selection there for some of that, but not quite as much. But really friendly storekeeper, really went on his own, got that started, and it's been a journey for him too with COVID, but I think he's done very well, and really well organized shop, and well put together. So I did get a few items there. Nothing too serious, but one album I realized when I saw it, I said, I don't have this album, ironically, and I really am a big Foreigner fan, but I don't have this Foreigner album called Inside Information. And so, this is got Say You Will on it, is one of the hits that was on this. Hearts Turn to Stone is another one. So I got this, and so what did this cost me? 90 kroner, which is Swedish kroner. They don't use the euro. So 90 kroner is just a hair over $9. So that was a really decent deal. Uh, Here's one that was a weird one in a way, and it was in more of a bargain bin they have. But I have this on CD, and there's a few songs I really like, and it was in decent shape, the best of stylistics. And this was only 30 crown, which is just a hair over $3. So, they had hits back then. You Make Me Feel Brand New, Betcha by Golly Wow, Rock and Roll Baby, Break Up to Make Up, Stone in Love with You. These were 4 or 5 top 40 hits the stylistics had. So that was just kind of an interesting thing. And the last one I got was 70 Swedish crowns, which is just over $70, is Vulture Culture by Alan Parsons Project. Probably one of my favorite albums they did. A little more of a popish song kind of a record as opposed to a thematic type that they do for maybe Eye in the Sky, Turn of a Friendly Card, I, Robot, those kind of things, Edgar Allan Poe, their first album. So I just like to have different pressings of this one to see what that one sounds like. It was just $7. So basically, that's all I got when I was in Kalmar. Then went up to a town where I'm in right now called Orebro, which is a location where we have a lot of our larger facilities for the company I do some work for. And there's a record store there called Bananamoon. And I'm going to advertise for them a bit here. Bananamoon here in Orebro. Really a friendly shop. They changed hands here, I think, in late 2019, early 2020, just before the pandemic. And the guy who bought it was somebody who was working there already. So he and his wife and daughter were there and caught up with them a bit, and be showing you a little video from going in there. So back in Orebro, and some fun for the kids with some water as the temperatures are in the 70s, and approaching my favorite record store here called Bananamoon. And I'll be taking a bit of a tour in this store. A lot of great selection that I have bought many items from. So let's see what they've got. Let's take a look. Some old classic equipment in the window for posterity's sake. That would be weird. Big CD collection. And where things start. And in the back, we have a lot of videos on the side, and then vinyl in the back sections. Let's check things out. And here's what I came out with from there. So it's funny, you just find the weirdest stuff sometimes. So they had their new vinyl section, they had orange stickers on. As opposed to white. So you knew that it was new vinyl if it was in this area, in this section. So I'm just thumbing through by letter, it's a A through Z kind of thing by group or artist. And I came across a sealed copy of Tracy Ullman's You Broke My Heart in 17 Places. Now, I have a copy of this, and Tracy Ullman to me is a really great comedian, great actress, she's a really good pop singer. She's just fun, I think, is really the word. And she's just from Britain. And I just couldn't pass up for 69 crowns, which is about $7, a sealed copy, a notched sealed copy of that one, because it's really a fun pop album. Picked up this one. It was a music on vinyl, Sarah McLachlan. I hadn't heard this lady that I recalled, and then I listened to a few of the songs on Spotify, and I realized I did. So this was 149 crowns, which is $15. But this is music on vinyl from several years ago, actually. But I thought, yeah, that's a decent price from that. This album, I think, has been in stock quite a while because, as you know, music on vinyl has gotten fairly expensive. So pull that one out of their inventory. I got a couple of Led Zeppelin in these. Let me pull the other one up too because it's the one that has the bag. One of these versions had the bag, the other did not. And this is Led Zeppelin's In Through the Outdoor. And the thing here is this one has, I think, five different covers: A, B, C, D, E, F. And I was lacking E and F, and I found E and F here. So these were a little pricier, about 28 bucks each. But Led Zeppelin typically goes for a bit more. But I did finally complete my covers collection for that album, which I've been trying to do for quite a few years. Got a Yes album here. My buddy Doug Osbury, who I'd interviewed in a previous show, big Yes fan. This was a 12-inch mix of a promo, and it was Love Will Find a Way from 90125. So it has a radio edit side and then the full album side. So I like 12-inch records because they usually sound better because they are one song per side, so the grooves are really well spaced out. So this one was $6. Then I got this one. I really was looking for a cleaner copy than I had, Survivor, and this is Vital Signs from the '80s, and this was $8. You might remember this is I Can't Hold Back, A High on You, The Search Is Over. This really big hits back in the mid '80s by Survivor, and this is the last one I got. Wham's Make It Big. It's got the hype sticker on it. It was $8 in really good shape, really good pressing. I could tell the way this was mastered and cut just to look at it. I could tell that it was much better than the US version that I have. So I'll probably just get rid of that one and upgrade to this because I think this one's going to sound a lot better. So, nothing short of a Zeppelin. I guess that was a little bit of a, I don't want to quite call it grail, but I do want to call it a completist kind of thing. I did want to get those finalized to get those covers because I think they're sought after, and that is an album I like a lot. But the real issue is these covers. So I would say that again, I was seeing 20 to 25%. The other thing that Bananamoon had in the past is they would change colors on stickers as inventory was older and older. So a certain color would be 10% off, and then 25, and then up to 40% off if it had been in there, let's say, a year. So I didn't see that they're doing that, and I certainly saw some records that were much more aged. Uh, I'll be showing you here some soundtracks that I saw there, and they were mostly music on vinyl, and many of them were reasonably priced in the sense that they were $20 or less, which for music on vinyl is pretty hard to find these days. So the bottom line is things are more expensive. We have inflation going on. I don't want to get into all that, but I can tell you if you think $5 a gallon for gas is a lot, they pay about $2.75 a liter, which comes out to be about $11 a gallon. So things are worse here in that regard too, and prices are up here generally as well. So it is very much a global situation. But I did want to let you know that this trip was really this wasn't about vinyl. I had a lot of other things to accomplish, and really it kind of was not nearly as exciting in that regard as it had been. Again, selection was a little bit different in terms of views. It didn't seem like there was as much out there. One of the explanations I got was that some people were doing some buying during COVID because they were stuck at home, and they would arrange they would arrange to come in at the store, and they'd be the only person in there and rifling through and getting records. So not as much was coming into the stores as was going out in terms of old music, used records and all. So this is the one and only video I think I'll do from this trip. I'll be back in a week or so, and then I'll get back on my normal routine. And I have some very interesting interviews planned for July. As always, if you would subscribe to this video, I'd really appreciate it. Press that like button. Also, if you have any comments or questions, please put them below, and I'll get back to you on those. So for now, stay safe. Have a great summer getting started as the kids get out of school. And this is David Bianco saying thanks for listening to the sound of Safe and Sound Texas. Take care, everybody.